So, in this video, I want to talk about what I think is the most underrated exercise that you can do to practice your improvisation. And it was something that no one, I don't think, ever explicitly told me to do. But I started doing it at one point, and it made me sound so much better so quickly. So, here it is. I call it emulation. It's similar to transcribing. It's similar to this concept of learning other people's solos, studying the musicians that you really like and that you want to sound like, but just a slightly different take on that same concept. Basically, all you do is, assuming you've listened to a musician a good amount and you kind of have a general idea of what they sound like. This is a super useful exercise. Just start improvising and try to channel them. Try to be that person. And it's not going to sound exactly like them. It might sound a little bit like them, but the idea is it will get you to play in a certain way. It will get you to reinterpret how they play in your own way. Even if you hear, let's say you hear a Coltrane lick in your head and then you try to play it, and it's not actually quite right. But that's okay. You're exploring, you're stretching the way you play, and you're reinterpreting how someone else plays. You don't want to sound exactly like them anyway. You want to sound like you were influenced by them, but in your own way. So emulation. Just put on a metronome, put on a record, put on a backing track, or just kind of sit there and improvise, and try to emulate. So I'll do a little demonstration. I'll try, and it's probably going to sound. If you're a huge fan of Miles Davis, you'll probably think this doesn't sound anything like him. But I don't know. Without any particular solo that I'm thinking of, I'll try to sound a little bit like Miles Davis, and just to give you an idea of how you sound a little bit like someone, but not too much like them. Just by channeling them, emulating them, and doing that as an exercise, doing that regularly. And as opposed to transcribing or learning and memorizing their solo, this one has really instantaneous rewards. You'll start to sound different, and you'll start to sound better very quickly, right? Right away, because you don't have to go through the time that it takes to learn somebody's solo. But every time you're listening to someone, anytime you're appreciating them, that sinks into your subconscious. That sound is in the back of your mind, and it lives there, and then you can draw from that. So yeah, that's it. I call it emulation. If you want to sound much better very quickly, I think it's a great exercise. And I'm just playing in C minor here. I don't know. So, I mean, that's probably one of the least flashy, interesting solos you've heard me play. But I think you probably tell I'm kind of trying to sound a little bit like Miles Davis, but maybe it doesn't quite. It sounds like me trying to sound like Miles Davis. That's the idea. Just try it. I think it's an excellent exercise. I never hear anyone talking about it, but I think it's great, and I encourage everyone to do it.